All right, cool. All right, 1 second, y'all. Let's pull up YouTube. Mhm. All right. All right, we're here. Pain. All right, cool. 1 second. All right. Looks like we're good to go. All right. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? All right, today's the big day. Today is the big day. We'll get started in a few. We'll explain the rules. Let me just start shuffling. Hope everyone tunes in that's on the leaderboard. Because if not, your spot will be taken. So it happens every time I do this tournament. Some people just don't show up, man. And hey, that's their loss. Been giving you guys lots of time to come join. So make sure y'all join. All right. Well, first game of the night. First game of the night will be Ranch Hand and Colorado Patrol. We're gonna start off 2 on this side, then 2 on that side. So first, and we're only playing 1 round today. So if you advance to the next round, you're good for today. You made it to the Elite Eight, and you will not play again until the next stream for the Elite Eight. And we'll finish off the tournament on the next stream. So we have 2 more live streams left. It's gonna be one for today. We're gonna have the Elite Eight Championship next stream, and we'll finish it off next stream. But today we're only advancing 1 round, y'all. 1 round. All right, Ranchan. Okay, we got Ranchan in here. Do we got Colorado Patrol? Colorado Patrol, you in here, brother? Hope you are, cause you will be the first game. And if not, we'll see which 2 people are here first, and then we'll get started with them. That way, it's easier, faster. I've never done it with this many players. We usually just do 8 players, but we did a 16-person bracket this time to make it a little bit longer and more people. I think it'd be better too. But all right, that's good to go. Who else made money on Mexico? Hey man, shout out Mexico, bro. All right, let's see. I think I saw John C and S Carson here. John C and S Carson, are you guys both here? So what happens if he is not here? Do I go on to the next round automatically? No, we just pick someone to take your spot, brother. Sadly. Um, so yeah, that's how it's gonna work. Sadly, that's how it works. Um, let's see. Okay, I see John C. John C is here. S Carson, I swear I saw you in here. S Carson, you in here? LC9J, okay, in here. All right, LC, don't go nowhere. You're gonna play soon. Since the first 2 people that we got are both in here, we have John C and S Carson, which is up here. We'll start off with you guys because you guys are both here. After that, we're gonna either go with Colorado Patrol and Ranch Hand, whichever 2 people are here. So if you're on this board, y'all, make sure you guys come tune in. But since I see John C and S Carson are here, we'll start off with them. All right, just Carson and Carson and John C. Are you guys ready? I'm gonna explain the rules. Let me know if you guys are ready so I can explain the rules. Let me know. Carson, you good to go? Your internet was lagging? Okay, hopefully it's not lagging. Okay, so these are the rules, guys. Everyone pay attention real quick. If you're on the board, you might want to pay attention so you can see how it works. All right, so both of you guys are playing live 2-on-2 against each other. I mean, sorry, 1-on-1 against each other. You both have 2,000 in chips. The rules are same thing. You can bet minimum 100, max 500, but you can only do 2 hands at the most. Two hands at the most. You can play one hand or two hands at the most. And this is going to be the dealer button. This is going to be the dealer button. It's going to be a little bit weird the way I deal it. I'm going to go based off wherever the dealer button is. So I'm going to do high card to see. We'll do that first. These little buttons are going to determine who's who. So let's do this so we can already get started. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to put you guys right here. All right. Yeah, you can see from there. Okay. All right. So purple button, it's gonna be S. Carson. You're the purple button. Yellow button, you're gonna be John C. You're the yellow. Yellow John C. Purple S. Carson. All right. I'm gonna do high card real quick to see who's gonna be the button. Okay. So button's gonna be right here. 4 beats of 3. All right. So button's gonna be right here, y'all. I'm gonna deal to the opposite of the button. So the dealer, but it's like poker kind of. They have position. You're gonna go first. So I'm gonna deal the cards here and then here. If the dealer button is, for example, on this side, I'm gonna deal the cards here, then here. That's just how it's gonna go. But for here, the button's gonna stay here. We're gonna have 6 rounds. 6 rounds. So the way it's gonna work is whoever has the most chips at the end of the 6 rounds is gonna move on to the tournament and advance. Or if you happen to bust and lose all your chips by the third round, whoever has any type of remaining chips in that round is the winner. So if you lost 2,000 in one hand and this guy had 100 left, well, this person wins. So pretty simple. Let me know if you guys understood that. If not, I can kind of um, explain it a little bit more, but I feel like I got it pretty good. Let me know. 6 rounds total, Carson. So Carson, you're gonna be purple chip. John C, you're gonna be the yellow chip, and the button is gonna be with John C. Let me know. You guys got it? You guys got what's going on? Let me know as Carson and John C. And everyone else that is in the tournament and they're not playing yet, pay attention too so you guys can see how it works and you guys will already be prepared when it's your turn. All right. Carson, you good? John C, let's get it. All right. Okay, we're going to get it. We're going to start it off. Good luck to both of you guys. Once again, S. Carson, purple, yellow, John C. And you guys just do me a favor and help me keep track with the rounds because sometimes I'll be forgetting. But we're playing 6 rounds. All right. Good luck. Here we go. We're starting off first with S. Carson. S. Carson, how many hands do you want to play? And how much do you want to bet? First card's a burn card. We'll put that over here. It's like kind of like poker, y'all. Like the button is the position, so you get to see what they do before you do anything. So we're gonna go with S. Carson. How many hands and how much you want to play? Let me know. Let's see, 2 of 250. Okay, let me give you some change. Okay, there's 100. There's that. And guys, everyone that participated in this tournament was totally free to play, y'all. You guys did not risk anything at all. No purchase necessary. This is me giving back to you guys. So yeah, you guys all played for free. You guys did not risk anything or did nothing. So yeah. All right. So as Carson said, 2 hands of 250. Okay, now moving on to John C. John C, what are you doing? Let me know, John C. 2 hands of 500. All right. Bets are locked in and established. No more changing the bets. All right, button's gonna be here. All right, good luck. And here we go. Since button's here, we're starting off dealing this way. When it's on the other side, we're starting off dealing this way. It's gonna be a little tricky, but just follow the button. That's gonna make it easy. All right, good luck, guys. Here we go. All right. All right, we're starting off over here with S. Carson. You have a 19 versus a 2. What are we doing on 19 versus a 2? Stay. Okay, staying on the 19. All right. You guys have a soft 14. You have a 4 or 14. What are we doing on the 4 or 14? 4 or 14. Hit it. All right, hitting it. Okay, 21. There you go. Nice. 21. 21. We're going to assume you stay on that one. So we're moving on to 17 versus a 2 with John C. John C, 17 versus a 2. What are you doing, brother? This is round 1, by the way. Round 1. John C said stand on both. All right, standing on both. Here we go. 5, 15. Too many. All right, winner for everybody. So this is 250. This is 250. I'm going to pay you with a 500 chip for both. There you go. And that's 5 and that's 5. There's 5 and here's 5. All right, that is the end of round 1. I'm going to be giving you guys chip counts too, so you guys know where you're at and all that good stuff. Now the button moves over here to S. Carson. All right, so S. Carson, you're currently at 2,500 in chips. 2,500 in chips. And John C, you're at 3,000 in chips. So you guys know where you're at. So now we're moving on. John C, you're first to act. What's going to be the bets? Let me know, John C. You're first to act because the dealer button is over here. Let me know. John C, 2 hands of 500. Okay, locked in. All right, moving on to S. Carson. This is round 2 now, y'all. Round 2 starting about right now. Moving on to S. Carson. What are we doing? 2 of 500. 2 of 500. Got you. 5 and 5. All right, here we go. It's going to be a little weird, guys, I know. But now we're dealing the hand here first and then over here, okay? All right, good luck. Here we go. It's even a little bit weird for me, man. But we'll do our best. Nice. Blackjack. Another blackjack. All right. Okay. So let's pay out the blackjacks right away. That's 750. 750 here. Okay. Blackjack there gone. And 750 over here too. Okay. There you go. That blackjack is gone. Okay. And now we're going with John C. What we doing, John C? You got a 20 versus a 5. 20 versus a 5. What we doing? Split them. Interesting. I like it. All right. Interesting. Let me move these chips over here. Okay. We're splitting them. Splitting the 10s. Here we go. Good luck. Okay. 19 over here. 19. What we doing, 19? It's a little tricky, guys, moving the button because normally you have to deal from this side to this side, but since the dealer button's over here, we're dealing from this side to this side. It's kind of like poker in a way. Okay, standing there. All right. Now over here, we have a 12 versus a 5. What we doing on 12 versus a 5? 12 versus a 5. And guys, do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already. Make sure you guys subscribe, y'all. I love doing these tournaments, and the more you guys hit that like button, the more you guys subscribe, the more we can do these tournaments more often and bigger prize pools, man. So let's get it. All right, standing on that. Now we're moving on to S. Carson. You have a 20. What we doing on 20 versus a 5? S. Carson. Let me know. Stay. All right, staying. Okay, 11. 21. Loser on all of them. Loser, loser, and this is your 5. Loser here. That was your blackjack. All right, so we'll get a chip count. Dealer button moves. This is now round 3. We'll get a chip count for all of you guys so you guys know where you're at. All right, we'll start off with S. Carson. S. Carson, you are at 25, 26, 27, 2750. 2750 is your chip count, S. Carson. 2750. And let's see over here. Let's see what John C's at. John C, you're at 2750. 2750. All right. Got ourselves a match, boys. All right. We are now on round 3, starting off with S. Carson. What's the bets? Let me know. Let's see what we're doing. Two of 500. Okay. 2 of 5. Now on to John C. What's the bets? John C said 2 of 5 also. All right, 2 of 5. All right, here we go. Okay, dealer button is right here. We're gonna start off over here with S. Carson. Good luck. This is round 3. Right, 1, 2. Yeah, round 3. Here we go. Good luck, y'all. Round 3. All right, checking for Blackjack. Nobody home. All right, we're starting off over here with S. Carson. 14 versus a 10. What are we doing? 14 versus a 10. Hit it. Oh no, too many, brother. All right, moving on to your 9. 9 versus a 10. What are we doing on that? 9 versus a 10. Hit it. Okay. 14 now. 14 versus a 10. Let me know. Hit. 21. There you go. 21 on that one. All right, moving on to John C. You have 18 versus a 10. 18 versus a 10, John C. Stand. All right. Moving on to your 8. 8 versus a 10. What are we doing? Hit. All right. Now we have a 15. 15 versus a 10. What are we doing? Hit it. Too many, brother. All right. It's a loser here. Okay. Let's see what we got. 18. All right. So this is a winner. That's 21. And that is a push. All right. Here we go. All right. On to the next round. We'll get a chip count right now. Button moves. We are now on round 4, y'all. Round 4. Let's get a chip count real quick so you guys know where you're at. That's 5, 25, 26, 2750 S. Carson. Same amount. 2750. And John C., you are at 2250. 2250. All right. Here we go. Now we're starting off with John C. John C., what is going to be your bet? John C., you're going off first. This is round 4. Round 4. 2 hands of 5. Okay, 2 hands of 5. All right, now moving on to S. Carson. What you doing? S. Carson. 2 hands of 5. All right, here we go. Dealer button's right here, so we're going to start off over here. Here we go. All right, checking for Blackjack. Nobody home. All right, starting off over here, since the dealer button's on that side, we have a 12 versus a 10. What are we doing? 12 versus a 10. 12 versus a 10. Hit it. 19. Okay. 19. What are we doing on 19? Hmm. Let me know, John. Stand. All right, moving on to 15. 15 versus a 10. What are we doing on 15? 15 versus a 10. What up, Walter? Stay tuned, man. You're going to be up next soon. Stand. Okay, stand on the 15. All right, moving on to S. Carson. 13 versus a 10. 13 versus a 10. What are we doing? Okay, hit it. Too many there. All right. We have an 18 versus a 10 now. S. Carson. Yes, you do play today, Walter. You're actually going to be next. LA and Walter, you guys are going to be next. LA 10171 and Walter, you guys are up next. S. Carson, you have a 18 versus a 10. What are we doing? Stand. All right, here we go. 18. All right, winner here. There's 5. Lose here. And that's a push. All right, push. All right. Cool. All right. Now this is round 5. Dealer button moves. Round 5. Get a chip count real quick. And let's see. Let's start off with S. Carson. This is round 5, y'all. All right. S. Carson, you're at 2250. 2250. All right, 2250. And John C., you are at that's 2022, 2250. 2250. All right. Here we go. Let me know your bets. Starting off over here with S. Carson. Let me know. Yeah, Walter, I'll explain the rules in a bit. We'll get finished with this match and I'll explain them again. Right now it's round number 5. S. Carson, 2 of 500 and 2 of 500. Okay. 5, 5, and 5 and 5. All right, round 5, y'all. Round 5. Here we go. All right. Okay. All right. Starting off over here, 20 versus an 8. S. Carson, 20 versus an 8. What are we doing? 6 rounds with 2,000 chips. Yes, that is the rules. Whoever has the most chips at the end of the 6 rounds is going to be the winner, unless somebody goes broke, like in the first, second, third round, whatever round, it doesn't matter. The person with the remaining chips will win. So you have to try not to go broke, but at the same time, you have to win the most chips at the end of the 6 rounds. So yeah, that's how it works. All right. Where we at? We're S. Carson. Stay. Okay. And we're over here on 18. 18 versus an 8. 18 versus an 8. Stay. Okay, moving on over here to the 9. 9 versus an 8. John C. 9 versus an 8. No problem, Walter. John C. said double. All right, doubling it. There's 5. Yep. All right, here we go. Okay, 19. Over here. John C. We have a 10 versus an 8. 10 versus an 8. Double it 2. All right, good luck. And 12. All right, let's see what we got. 17. All right, this is winner here, and that is a winner. That's 1,000. And then this is a loser right here. All right, cool, cool. All right, let's get these out the way. And round 6, final round. Final round. Button is moved over here. That's yours. This is yours. And let's get a chip count over here with John C first. John C, you are at 2250. And S. Carson, you are at 2, 3, 31, 3250. 3250 for S. Carson. All right. Let me know the next bets. This is the last round. Whoever has the most chips or does not go broke will win this game and will advance. All right. We're starting off with John C. John C., what we doing? John C. Let me know, John. Round 6. This is the final round. Final round. John C. 2 hands of 5. All right. Okay. Moving on to S. Carson. What we doing, S. Carson? 2 hands of 5. All right. 2 hands of 5. All right. Here we go. Good luck. Buttons over here. We're starting off over here. Here we go. Blackjack. Okay. All right. Let's pay the blackjack. That's $7.50 right there. Okay. Right there. And we have an 18. 18 versus a 5, John C. 18 versus a 5. What are we doing on 18 versus a 5? Stand. Okay, moving on to 13 versus a 5, S. Carson. 13 versus a 5. $13 versus a 5. All right, stand on the 13. Okay, now we have a 12 versus a 5. 12 versus a 5. What are we doing on 12 versus a 5? Stand. All right, standing on both. Here we go. Good luck to both of y'all. 14. That is 19. Loser here. And loser here. All right. Let's see. Let's get a chip count. It's going to be close, y'all. It is going to be close. All right. Let's see. All right. We're going to do John C first. Let's see. All right. John C. That is 2, 24, 25. 2,500, John C. And S. Carson is at 21, 22, 2250. So the winner is going to be John C. John C, you have 2,500. All right, John C, congratulations. You advanced. All right, John C. Advanced, John C. You're welcome to keep watching if you want, but you are good for the day, and you will be moving on to the next round, John. All right. John, you are good. You are in the Elite Eight, which will not be played until the next round. All right. Dubs in the chat for John. Appreciate you for tuning in, John. Make sure you show up next stream, which will be June 15th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. All right. Let's see. And we're going to look at who's going to be next. All right. Do we have Walter and LA 10171 in here? Are you guys present? Let me know. That was a battle. It was a pretty good game. All right. LA and Walter, are you guys in here? LA and Walter. I'm looking up over here. LA and Walter. Are you guys in here? Okay, I see Poon in here. Okay, LA. Okay. Here and here. All right. Looks like they're both here. Okay, cool. They're both here. Let's see. All right. Well, Walter and LA, do you guys have any questions about the rules? I can go over them real quick. If not, let me know if you guys are ready and we can get started. No, not yet, Silver. Not yet. It's going to be a while till you play, but you will be playing soon. All right. LA's ready. Okay. Only if it's a tie. What happens? If you guys tie at the end of the 6th round, we play one more round for overtime and see who wins. How many hands are what? LA, it's 2. You can play 2 hands max. You can play 1 or 2 hands. Okay, repeat the rules real quick. Okay, so this is going to be the rules. Let me put the chips. You each have 2,000 in chips. We'll do this. LA, you're gonna be the purple button. Purple button for LA. This is your chips. Walter, you're gonna be the yellow button. This is gonna be your chips. Let's do high card real quick. See who's gonna be. Okay, so the dealer button's gonna be over here with Walter. All right, so the rules are we're gonna play 6 rounds. Whoever has the most chips at the end of the 6 rounds is gonna move on to the next to advance to the next round. And if you happen to go bust on round 1 or 2, the next player with the most chips, I mean, the next player with any type of chips, let's say they lost the whole 2,000 and you were left with 1 chip, you technically win because you have 1 chip left and they got nothing. So yeah, that's how it's gonna work. I'm gonna be dealing to the person without the button first. So they're gonna get first one since they don't have the button. And then when the button's over here, they're gonna get first because they don't have the button. And you have to play in flow of the button, basically. All right, you guys ready? Walter and LA, you can do 1 hand or 2 hands max, minimum 100, max is 500. All right, LA, 2 hands for 500. All right. LA said 2 hands for 500. All right, LA. Moving on to Walter. Walter, what do you want to do? Appreciate you, JT. Yep, who is first? Walter, he already went first. He declared his bets. He's doing 2 hands of 500. It's up to you now. How many hands do you want to play and for how much? The max hands you can do is 500. Max amount is 500. Also, sorry, I said that wrong. Max hands you can play is 2 hands. You can play 1 or 2. And then max amount is 500. All right, 2 hands of 500 also. Okay. All right, this is round one. Round one. Both of you guys are starting off with 500 for 2 hands. Good luck. Here we go. All right, we're going to be starting off with LA first. Okay. All right, LA, you have a 14 versus a 2. What are we doing on 14 versus a 2? 14 versus a 2. Guys, and make sure you guys still keep watching. There are going to be some players that don't show up today, sadly, and you guys will have a chance to take their spots. So if you're not on the bracket, you still have a chance. Just stay tuned, and I'll explain that in the future if we don't have someone show up. All right, stand on both. LA said standing on both. Walter, you have an 11 versus a 2. What are we doing? It's on you now, Walter. 11 versus a 2. Let me know. It is now on you, Walter. LA said he's standing on both. All right, double down. Doubling it down. Here we go. 21. Okay, moving on over here. 13 versus a 2. What are we doing 13 versus a 2? Let me know. 13 versus a 2. Let's see what Walter says. Let me know. Hit the 13, he said. Okay. Too many. Too many there, Walter. All right. Bust that one. All right. Let's move on and see what we got. All right. 5, 12, 20. Lose here, LA. And you're going to push over here, and Walter wins over here. He's got 21. All right. There you go. That's the end of round one. And we're going to get a chip count so you guys know where you're at. And now we're moving the dealer button. It is now on LA. Dealer button has been moved. And Walter, you're looking at 2,500 in chips, Walter. LA, you are at 1,500 in chips. All right, we're starting off with Walter now. This is round two, Walter. You're first to act. What is going to be your bets? Let me know. Let me know, Walter. 2 hands of 500. Okay. All right, moving on to LA. LA, what's going to be your bet? Let me know, LA. 2 hands of 5 also. All right. Okay, 2 hands of 5. All right, here we go. Now the dealer button's over here. We're starting off with Walter first. Here we go. Blackjack. Blackjack. Oh my God, LA. That's sick. Okay, those are automatic winners right there. So that's 750, 750. 750 times 2 is 1500. So I'm just gonna pay you 1500 for both of those. There you go, brother. Nice. All right, LA. You're good. All right. On to Walter. Walter, you got an 8 versus a 9. That was crazy. Yeah. Double blackjack was crazy. All right. 8 versus a 9, Walter. What are you doing on 8 versus a 9? Let me know, Walter. Hit the 8. Okay. Now you have 15. 15 versus a 9. What are we doing? 15 versus a 9. Let me know. Let me know, Walter. 15 versus a 9. Stand on 15. Okay, standing on 15. Moving on to 16 now. You have a 16 versus a 9. What are we doing on 16 versus a 9? 16 versus a 9. 16 versus a 9. Stand on 16. All right, here we go. 18. So it's going to be a loser on both, Walter. Loser on both. All right. That was the end of round 2. Moving on now to round 3. We are now moving the button. Round 3. LA, get your chip count. You're at 3,000 in chips, LA. Walter, you are at 1,500, Walter. 1,500. All right. Round 3, we're starting off with LA. LA, what's going to be your move? Let me know, LA. How many hands and what's going to be the amount? That was crazy luck. I will say that. Yep. 250 in 2 hands. Okay, let me give you some change. All right, here's 100 in green. There's 100. All right, 250 for 2 hands. Moving on to Walter now. Walter, what are you doing? He's doing 2 hands of 250. Let me know what you want to do. 2 hands of 500. All right. 2 hands of 500. All right, here we go. Good luck. All right, starting first with LA now. Blackjack again is crazy. Oh, shit. That is crazy, bro. All right. Nobody home. 250. It's crazy. That's should be I'm tripping. It's 375. Yeah. Tripping. All right. Yeah, 375. There you go. No, actually, no. Yeah, 375 in profit. Yeah. Okay, cool. There you go. All right. LA, you are 13 versus a 10, LA. 13 versus a 10. 13 versus a 10. Stand. Okay, stand on 13 versus a 10. Walter, you have a 13 versus a 10. What are we doing on that one? 13 versus a 10, Walter. 13 versus a 10. Hit the 13. Okay, 15 now, Walter. 15. 15 versus a 10. Guys, after this match, I will be doing a little bit more explaining so you guys can know what we're doing. And yeah, I'll explain soon. All right, stand on both, he said. Stand on both. 20. Okay, loser. Loser here and push here, Walter. Push on the last one. All right. There's that. But it moves. Round 4 now. Round 4. Walter, you're at 1,000 in chips. LA, you are at Let's see. LA. That's 2,000. That's 3,000. You're at 3125. 3125, LA. All right, Walter, you're at 1,000 chips, and you're going to be going first, Walter. What's going to be the bet? Round four, y'all. Round four. Walter. Let me know, Walter. Let me know. Got 1,000 chips, round four. 2 for 500. All right, Walter's officially all in. Good luck, Walter. All right, on to LA. LA, what are you doing? Let me know, LA. Round four. One hand for 125. Okay, I was playing the long game here. All right, here we go. Good luck. All right, insurance. Walter, we're going to ask you first. Do you want insurance? Walter, do you want insurance? Well, I mean, you actually can't because you don't have anything to put out there. So you're kind of stuck with no insurance. Either way, insurance, you should never get it. But yeah, Walter's kind of stuck with no insurance. He doesn't have any chips. LA, do you want insurance? Let me know, LA. Really? No? Okay, no insurance for both. All right, checking for Blackjack. Nobody home. All right, you're still alive, Walter. Still alive. 13 versus an ace. What are we doing? 13 versus an ace, Walter. Let me know, Walter. 13 versus an ace. Round four, y'all. Round four. This is this big spot right here. We're gonna see what Walter's gonna do. You got 13 versus an ace. Okay, standing on 13. All right, Walter, you have a 14 versus an ace on your second hand. 14 versus an ace. What are we doing on that one? Stand on both. All right, standing on both. All right, moving on to LA. 17 versus an ace. LA. 17 versus an ace. Hit on the 17. All right. You said hit. Okay. Too many. That's 22. All right, that's the loser here. All right. See what we got. Okay, we have a 5 or 15. Okay, we have a 15 now. Okay, and that's an 18. 18. So that is gonna sadly eliminate Walter. Eliminated Walter. GG's, Walter. Appreciate you for playing. You have no more chips. So LA is gonna move on to the next round. All right. LA. Congrats, LA. Moving on to the next round. All right. LA moved on to the next round. All right. Nice, nice. All right. On to the next two players, y'all. Appreciate you guys for playing. All right, guys. So for everyone that is watching, if you are not on that leaderboard, meaning if you're not on one of these 16 names, that means you did not qualify throughout the whole week that we are doing this tournament bracket for you guys to qualify. So the only way you guys can qualify now is hopefully some people don't show up, because if they don't show up, you guys will have an opportunity to take their spots. The only way you have an opportunity to take their spots is by one thing and one thing only. And plus, I'm going to show you guys something too. All right, let me put these chip stacks back. All right. So if you guys are wanting to play and your name is not up here, if someone does not show up, I'm going to pick a random person in the chat that has signed up for free. If you're on your phone, take a screenshot of this. Make sure you sign up, click the yellow button, and go sign up, y'all. If you're on your TV, you can scan the QR code, press the yellow button, make sure you guys go sign up. It's totally free to sign up, y'all. No purchase necessary. And also, just by signing up, you're going to have a chance at 200, because first place for this tournament is 1,300. Second place is 500. One random person just by signing up will get 200. So even if you're not in the tournament, I suggest you go sign up, y'all. You'll get 200 randomly to one person. The link is also in the pinned comment section, and you can go sign up through there. So yeah. All right. That's what we're doing, if you guys were wondering. All right, we're on to the next people. All right. Dude, let me see the chat. Let's see if any of these people are in here. All right, we have Poon. Okay, Poon. Poon is here. Is Crab Legs here? Crab Legs here? Poon or Crab Legs? Or do we have Colorado Patrol, Ranch Hand, Noob to Pro, LC, Frankie, Oh Marco? We have any of these names in here? Ranch Hand is here. Okay. Poon is here too. All right. Crab Legs. Frankie's here. Frankie, you're playing Omarco. Omarco. I don't see him in here yet. We're gonna find the first two names that we see in here. And then what about Air Danny, Silver Tacos, Funny Videos, Rainy, Noob to Pro, also here. Okay. I think I saw LC in here. LC, are you in here? Noob to Pro is here. All right. LC, are you in the chat? I swear I saw you earlier. Rainy's here too. Silver's here. Okay, we still haven't found the matching pair to play against each other. Once we find that pair, we'll start off with them, and then we'll move on to the next couple people. All right. LC, are you in here? LC dash NJARM. I swear I've seen him in here. The shoe is gonna keep going, y'all. There's still actually there's enough cards. There should be enough cards in there. All right. Frankie. Oh, Marco's not here yet, Frankie. Damn, I swear I saw LC in here. Let's see. Wow, really? Well, okay, we're missing a lot of people. We're literally missing almost the whole thing. Well, Colorado, you in here, Colorado? Let's see. Yeah, Midnight. You just sign up, Midnight. It's totally free. It just asks for your name, username, and I think email. So yeah, go do that. Ranchan is here too. Okay, we're gonna do. Let's see. DQ early stream. LOL. Ranchan said to disqualify them. No, we'll substitute some of these names. Let's try to fill up. Let's try to fill up this one since we already have this side of the bracket. But maybe we can do this side. Colorado Patrol, you in here, brother? God, I feel bad. Poon is in here. Crab Legs. Crab Legs is in here. I swear I saw Crab Legs in the beginning of the stream. Let me see if he's here, Poon. Maybe you can play him already. Crab Legs, are you in here, Crab Legs? You're playing against Poon. Poon is here. All right, we're going to give it maybe about 3-4 minutes. If not, we're going to have to start replacing people. We're going to have to start. Oh, Crab Legs. There's Crab Legs. Okay, perfect. Crab Legs and Poon. You guys are playing against each other. You guys are the first two people here. All right. Crab Legs and Poon. Were you guys paying attention? Do you guys understand how we're doing it? If not, I can explain the rules one time. Oh, Elsie's here too. All right, LC, cool. LC, make sure you guys LC, you're gonna be the next match after this one. Right now, we're gonna play Crab Legs and Poon, and then we'll do LC and Noob because I saw both of them here. So, make sure you stay around, LC. You're gonna be after this match. Yeah, Crab Legs said they're locked in, and Poon said, of course. Okay, all right. Looks like you guys are both locked in. Cool. All right, let's do high card to see who's gonna be the dealer. Let's see. Okay, all right. So this is gonna be Crab Legs, and this is gonna be Poon. All right, Poon, you're the purple. Crab Legs, you're the yellow. All right, Poon. So you're gonna start off first, Poon. We both got 2,000 chips. So let me know. You can do 2 hands max. You can do 1 through 500 for the amount. Poon, you're gonna be first. You are the purple chip. All right, he said 2 of 500. Okay. All right, moving on to Crab Legs. Crab Legs, you're next. Let me know, crab legs. 2 of 500 also. All right, here we go. Once again, Poon is the purple chip. Yellow chip is crab legs. All right, here we go. Good luck. Okay. All right. Starting off 20 versus a 4. Poon, 20 versus a 4. What are we doing? Let me know. Stay. Okay, you have a 12 versus a 4, Poon. 12 versus 4. What are we doing? Round 1, y'all. This is round 1. Poon. Let me know. 12 versus a 4, Poon. What are we doing? Stay. All right. Moving on to crab legs. You have a 13 versus a 4. 13 versus a 4. Let me know, crab legs. Stay and double the 8. All right. Doubling the 8. Here we go. Okay. Okay. We have a 7. Okay. 13. 18. 18. All right. Loser here and winner here. All right. And loser here and loser here, right? That's 8 plus 14. Yep. All right. Loser here. All right. That's the end of round 1. End of round 1. Move this button. All right. Button's going to move. Round 2 now. Chip count. We have Poon at 2,000 in chips and crab legs at 500. All right, crab legs, you're going first. What's the move? GG's LOL, one hand, 500. Good luck, crab legs. Good luck. All right, moving on to Poon. 2 of 250. All right, 2 of 250. Okay, that's 100. Let me get your chips. All right, 250. All right, here we go. Round 2. Good luck. Here we go. All right. Crab legs. You have a 13 versus a 5. 13 versus a 5. Crab legs. Stay. All right. Moving on to Poon. Poon, you have 16 versus a 5. Poon. You have them suited 8s. Split them, you said. All right. Let me get you some more green. This is 100 in green. Here's a 100 chip. All right. Splitting them, you said. Okay. Splitting the 8s. Okay. 18 versus a 5. Poon. 18 versus a 5. What are we doing on that? Stay. All right. Staying there. Okay. We have a 10 versus a 5. 10 versus a 5. God, what an interesting hand. Double it. All right. Doubling it. All right. Okay. And moving on over here to 17. 17 versus a 5. Stay. All right. Okay, we got a 15. 21. Well, it doesn't even matter because Crab Legs has no more chips. Even though Poon, you also lost all this, but it doesn't matter because you still have chips. Crab Legs does not. So, Poon, you're going to be moving on to the next round. Congratulations, Poon. All right. Poon, you are moving on to the next round. Congrats. All right. Poon. All right. On to the next round. Okay. I saw Noob to Pro and LC. Both of you guys were in here. Congrats to Poon. Moving on to the next round. All right. Poon, LC and Noob to Pro. I saw you guys in here. Are you guys still here? LC and Noob to Pro. Are you guys here? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I see Noob to Pro. Okay, LC. Okay, both of you guys are here. Nice. Perfect. Okay. All right. Let me know, LC and Noob to Pro. You guys have any questions? Have you guys been watching how it works? Let me know. And honestly, yeah, we're gonna have to get a new shoe because there's literally like 3 cards left until deck runs out. So we're gonna do a new shoe. All right, new shoe. All right. Noob is good. Okay. LC, you good? You know how to play? Silver, you're probably gonna be next after this one, Silver. You might wanna stay tuned. We'll see. Hopefully you don't gotta go, Silver. All right. Here we go. Cut the deck. Sorry, I was about to cut. All right. Cool. All right. Okay, cool. Ah, fuck. Come on. Damn it. There you go. Come on. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Perfect. All right. We'll do burn card. Oh, actually, let's do high card. All right. We're going to have, let's have Noob to Pro as the purple chip. Noob to Pro. And yellow chip will be LC. Noob to Pro, LC. Let's do high card to see who's going to get the dealer button. All right. LC, you're getting the dealer button. And this is going to be the first card. It's a burn card. All right. Here we go. Same rules apply. Starting off with Noob to Pro. Noob to Pro, you're the purple chip. LC, you're the yellow chip. All right. What we doing, Noob to Pro? 2 of 5. All right. 2 of 5. 2 of 5. Okay. On to now LC. Let's get it, double up. Come on, LC. What's your bet? Here, we'll put these little front so you can see the stacks. 2 of 5 also. All right. 2 of 5 also. All right. Here we go. All right. Good luck. Starting off first with Noob to Pro. All right. Noob to Pro. You have a 14 versus a 6. Pocket sevens versus a 6. Split them. All right. Splitting them. There you go. Good luck. Let's move these a little bit over here. All right. Okay. 17 versus a 6. Noob to Pro. 17 versus a 6. Stand. Okay. All right. Next one is a 15. 15 versus a 6. Stand, stand, all the way. Stand and stand. All right, cool. Moving on now to LC. LC, you have a 13 versus a 6. 13 versus a 6, LC. What are we doing on that? 13 versus a 6. Stand. Okay, and you have an 18 versus a 6. 18 versus a 6. Stand. All right, here we go. Good luck. All right, 11. 21. Everybody lost. Everyone lost. 5. Yep. Wow, that was disgusting. Everyone got scooped. Oh shit. All right. Well, okay. GG's. That's the end of round 1. End of round 1. Moving on to round 2 now. All right. Button's gonna move. Button moving. We have Noob to Pro with 500 in chips. And we got LC at 1,000 in chips. All right, LC, you're going to go first. How many chips, LC? All right, let me know. LC, you're first. Let me know, LC. 502 hands. All right, LC's going to be all in. LC's all in, 502 hands. Moving on now to Noob. All right, 1 for 100. Okay, all right. Here we go. All right, starting off first with LC. Good luck, guys. Blackjack. All right. Blackjack, that's 750 right there. Okay, 750. And you have a 12. 12 versus an 8. 12 versus an 8. 12 versus an 8. 12 versus an 8. Let me know. It's on you. It's on you, Elsie. 12 versus an 8. 12 versus an 8. Let me know, Elsie. It's on you. Hit it. All right. 18 now, Elsie. 18 versus an 8, Elsie. LC. 18 versus an 8. Stand. All right, standing. Moving on to um, Noob. Noob's at double. All right. Let's see what we got. 15. Too many. All right, winner on both. Okay. 5 here and 200 here. All right. Round 2 is over. Moving on to round 3 now. Round 3, and we're going to get some chip counts. All right. Chip count. All right. We got LC at 2250. And we have 700 for Noob to Pro. All right. Next round. Round 3, y'all. Round 3. All right. You're going to be. Did I move the button already? I don't think I moved the button. Right? Yeah, no, I didn't move the button. All right. Button now is moved. There, button moved. All right. Starting off with you, Noob to Pro. 501 hand, he said. All right. He's leaving 200 behind. 501 hand. All right. Moving on. On to LC. LC, what are you doing? Let me know, LC. I said this was round 3, y'all, right? I believe this is round 3. I think so. Solus, can you verify? I think it is round 3. LC said 1 hand for 100. All right, buttons here. We're dealing here first. Here we go. Good luck. Yes, round 3. Okay, appreciate it. Okay, cool. Thanks, y'all. All right, 12 versus a 6. 12 versus a 6, Noob to Pro. 12 versus a 6. What we doing? Let me know. Noob to Pro. 12 versus a 6. Double for less. All right, doubling down for less. He's got 200 chips. Double down for less. And Noob to Pro, this is up to you since you're first. Last to act, I always deal it face up because there's last to act, but you can have it face down or face up. Noob to Pro, let me know since you're first to act. it does change the game because they can see what you got, if that makes sense, I guess. Up. Okay. Oh, that's 22, brother. So GG's. No matter what, it is over because you have no more chips, man. So, all right. GG's there. That's going to end the game. And if you're wondering, let's see what I had. I had 13. Okay. All right. Congratulations to LC. LC, you're going to be moving on. Where you at, LC, over here? All right. LC, you are moving on. All right. Congrats to LC. Moving on to the next round. All right. On to the next game. On to the next one. All right. Silver Tacos and Danny, are you guys here? Silver Tacos and Air Danny, are you guys here? Let me know. Let me know, y'all. Silver Tacos and Air Danny, are you guys here? No problem, double up. I mean, LC, I read it as double up. No problem. All right. I need two of the contestants. All right. I either need Air Danny and Silver Tacos, Funny Videos and Rainy, or Colorado and Ranch Hand, or Frankie and Omarco. I need those pairs in the chat. Are you guys here? If not, this is where we're going to start switching y'all out for some other people. But we need to see if these guys are here first. Silver said, I'm driving and texting. Okay, Silver's here. Let's get Silver's game out the way because I don't see anybody else that's here. I don't see Colorado. I saw Ranchan here was earlier here. Frankie and Omarco. What about Rainy and Funny Videos? Silver Tacos, Air Danny. Okay, I see Frankie here. Omarco's not here. Rainy said to put me in with Silver and swap my place. Uh, so Silver, do you mind that? Silver, do you want to play against Rainy? We can switch your place. You guys are both here, so I guess you guys could both play each other. Let me know, Silver. He said I decline. Okay, cool. He declines. All right, so that's not happening. Colorado and Ranch Hand. We're gonna do one more call out, y'all. After this, Rennie is too much of a pro. That's funny. All right, we're gonna do one more call out. If I don't see these names, we're gonna have to start replacing them. Guys, if you are on this leaderboard on one of these names, you better show up. If not, we're gonna have to start replacing you guys. So Silver Tacos is here, Rainy is here, Air Danny's not here, Funny Videos is not here. I saw Ranchan was here. I didn't see Colorado. I saw Frankie. I didn't see Omarco. All right. Well, we might have to start replacing people. Might have to start replacing people. Ranchan, are you here? I saw you earlier. Ranchan's here. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna have to start replacing people because I didn't even see Colorado pop up at all. So sadly, Colorado, we're gonna have to probably switch you, brother. I'm gonna give you about, yeah, we're gonna have to probably switch Colorado. We'll start off with that game because I don't see anybody else here. All right, we're gonna start off with Ranchan. Ranchan is here. So Ranchan, you are gonna play against a random person. All right, let's get it going. Let's see who it's gonna be. All right, guys, plain and simple. Let's get this going so you guys can see what's going on. All right, yeah, because we already had enough time to let everybody show up for the stream, and sadly, they have not showed up. So Colorado Patrol, sorry, brother. You're going to be the first one off the board for not showing up. We've been live already for about an hour, so sorry, brother. All right, guys, that means a spot has opened up to play against Ranch Hand. All right, who is going to take that spot? I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to decide that. If you're on your phone, make sure you guys scan this QR code, take a screenshot. Take a screenshot and then go scan it and press the yellow button and go sign up. It is totally free to sign up. No purchase necessary, guys. If you're on your TV, scan the QR code, go sign up, press the yellow button, and make sure you guys sign up. It's totally free once again, y'all. You could also click the link in the pinned comment section and sign up through there. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to go sign up. One random person that went to go sign up will be taking this spot. It's totally free to sign up. You guys aren't risking anything at all. No purchase necessary. So make sure you guys go do that right now. Also, guys, one random person will get 200 just by signing up. First place in this tournament is 1,300. Second place is 500. And one random person will get 200, guys. So make sure you guys go sign up right now. I'm gonna give you guys about 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna be picking a random person in the chat that has already done that. Let me put a little 2-minute timer on here. Okay, and all right, we're live. All right, after these 2 minutes, we're gonna be picking someone else. All right. So yeah, someone's gonna be taking Colorado's spot because he sadly did not show up. We've been live for a minute, so we need to get this thing going. All right, 1 minute and 40 seconds. 1 minute, 40 seconds, y'all. Once again, click the link in the pinned comment section or just scan the QR code if you're on your TV, if you're on your phone, take a screenshot. Make sure you go sign up, press the yellow button. It's totally free to sign up. If you're on your TV, scan it. You're on your phone, take a screenshot and go sign up, or just click the link in the pinned comment section. All right, we got a minute, 15 seconds. Minute, 15 seconds. And we'll see who's going to get it. Guys, this is such an epic tournament. One day I actually want to do this in person for a vlog. This is my concept in real life. I want to bring together, it's going to be a hard thing to do, but one day I do want to get one person from every single state in the United States. And then maybe in the future I can bring one person from like every continent, which would be kind of crazy. It's like me thinking long term, but yeah, I want to get one person from every single state, have them all compete in a 50-person bracket, bring them down all the way down to the Elite Eight. And then those 8 people, I will fly them out to Vegas. We'll do a real life gambling session. And it'll be a sick video, I think. A good little series, kind of game show type of thing. So that'll be something for the future to look forward to, y'all. But all right, we got 30 seconds. Sorry, 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Merch coming soon too, y'all. I want to get to 20,000 subscribers, then we can do the merch. I know for vlogs, we're cooking up something right now. They're going to be coming out soon, so y'all be patient with me. I'm starting a new series in a couple days. You guys do not want to miss that series. It's going to be sick. It took me a while to be thinking about it and planning it, but I already got everything situated, and we'll be able to start. All right, time is over. Comment down below right now if you signed up. Comment down below, why should I pick you guys to come take the spot to compete against Ranch Hand starting now? Go comment. Let's do it. Come on. Why am I going to pick you guys? I'm going to pick one random person that signed up and is in the chat. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Comment down below. Why should I pick you guys? Let me know. Let me know who wants it. Let me know, y'all. One person will be taking this spot up here. Let's see. Let's see. Comment down below, y'all. All right. First person. I see it. Let's go with Morgan 9583. Tara Morgan, something like that. 9583 said I signed up. Should be picked because I love to play blackjack and I've been a faithful subscriber. All right. Congratulations. All right. Morgan 953. Congratulations, Morgan. You will be up here and be competing against Ranch Hand. All right. Morgan 9583. Was it right? Yeah, 9583. All right. All right. Morgan, you've been selected. All right, Ranchan, are you still here, Ranchan? Please tell me you're still here, Ranchan. Oh, kind of like Caribbean. Caribbean Morgan. All right. We'll just call you Morgan for short. All right, Ranchan is here. All right, let's get it. Ranchan and Morgan. Let's do it. All right. Ranchan, you're gonna be the yellow chip. Ranchan, the yellow chip. And we'll have Morgan as the purple chip. Let's do high card to see who's gonna be the dealer. All right. So that's Morgan. Morgan, you are the purple chip. Ranchan, you are the yellow chip. All right. Here we go. Let's start off with Ranchan. Ranchan, you're gonna be first. How many hands and all that stuff? Let's get it, Ranchan. You are first. How many hands? What we doing? Ranchan, 500, two hands. All right. Nice. Okay, 500 for two hands. All right, this is round one also. Now we're doing Morgan. Morgan, what we doing? You can do up to two hands, Morgan. You can do one or two hands. And it's max is 5. You can do 100, 200, 3, whatever. All right, 2 of 500 also. 2. All right, once again, real quick, the rules. Adam was wondering. You're gonna play 6 rounds. Whoever has the most chips at the end of the 6 rounds will be moving on and advancing in the tournament, unless you bust out early in one of the rounds. If you bust out and you have no more chips, whoever has at least one chip remaining will advance. So that's how it's gonna work. Here we go. Good luck. All right, the dealer button. Dealer button is right here, and we're starting off over here with Ranchan. Good luck, Ace. There we go. Okay, Blackjack, nice. All right. Blackjack pays 750, Ranchan. Nice, right there. All right, there's your 750. And Ranchan, you have a 14 versus a 6, Ranchan. 14 versus a 6. What are we doing on 14 versus a 6? Stand and end my turn. All right, standing on the 14 versus 6. Moving on to Morgan. Morgan, you got a 20 versus a 6. What are we doing? 20 versus a 6. Let me know. Stand on both. All right, standing on both. 16. Too many. All right, winner on all of them. 5 here, 5 here, and 5 here. All right, nice, nice. That was the end of round one. End of round one. All right. Button is going to move now. The dealer button's over here. And we're going to get a chip count just to see where you guys are at so you guys know. All right, that is 3,000 for Morgan. Ranchan, you are at 3250. 3250, Ranchan. All right, on to Morgan first. Morgan, what's going to be your bet? Let me know, Morgan. You got 3,000 in chips. This is round two now, y'all. Round two. Round two. 2 of 500. Okay. 2 hands of 5. All right, moving on over here to Ranchan. Ranchan, what we doing? Let me know, Ranchan. Ranchan, 2 of 500 also. All right. Round two. Round two. Here we go. Okay. All right. We're showing an ace. Do you guys want insurance? Anybody want insurance? Let me know. Let me know. We'll start off with Morgan. Do you want insurance, Morgan? Explain insurance. You get so it pays 2 to 1. Insurance pays 2 to 1. If I you pay for insurance and I don't have it, you lose your insurance bet. Um and if you don't get insurance right now and I do have it, you lose your whole bet. So yeah. I don't even have insurance for my car. Hey, insurance is a scam, man. All insurances. No insurance, okay? Ranch hand. Ranchan wants insurance. All right. So Ranchan, you're gonna have to pay half of your bet, which is no, actually you oh yeah, Ranchan, do you want insurance on both hands or one hand? Let me know, Ranchan. And I do believe it's half of your bet on both. Okay. So this one's a little iffy on my head because I haven't got insurance in a while. But I do believe it's half of your original bet. Let me know, Chad, if I'm right or wrong. I'm pretty sure. So he has 500 on both hands and he wants insurance on both. Does he? I think he puts half of the amount. Or no, is it the full amount? I think it's the full amount. I think it's the full amount. Let me, is there here? Maybe I can look it up real quick. Here, I'll wait for you guys to tell me. I do think, yeah, it is half of the bet. I knew it was half of the bet. All right, so it's half of the bet on both. Okay. So 250. Here, we'll just put a 500 chip because half of this is 250, and he wants insurance on both. So we'll just put 500 out there. All right, 500 out there. Cool. There you go. All right. It's half and it does pay 2 to 1. Yeah, I knew that's what it was. All right. Okay, cool. So you are buying insurance and no insurance. All right, let me check. Checking for blackjack. Oh, blackjack. All right. Nice. So not nice for you, sadly. Lost this bet, and that's gonna pay you 2 to 1. So 500 pays 2 to 1. So that is 1,000. And you keep your bets. Oh, actually, no, you get paid with your bets, right? Is that how it works? Yeah, I think you get paid with your bets. Okay, for sure, I know this one's gone. I think you do get paid with your own bets, I believe, right? Because you get 250 and then you get, yeah. Here, let's just make this easy so I don't fuck it up. All right. So here's the 250 you got here, and here's the 250 you got over here for that. Okay. And then that's yours. Okay. Yes, it's essentially push. It's essentially a push. Lose original bet. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Essentially a push. Right? Yeah. Oh, here. Sorry. Um, if you place your insurance on half your bet, then usually you just get your bet back. Yeah, you just sorry guys, I'm fucking tripping out about this one. I haven't seen this one in a while. Okay, so he bought in half of the insurance on each, which is 250, 250. You should, and it's 2 to 1. I know that for a fact. So you for sure, do you get another 250? Wow, this one's fucking me up, guys. My bad. Okay, let's see. Ranshan said the 500 per hand. Well, no, at Ranshan, you get half. So your original bet is 500. So half of 500 is 250. So you got 250 and 250, which is right here and right here. Your original bet is 500, 500. So 250. I know, bro. I don't have my phone. I would use fucking ChatGPT. Hold on. I'm about to search this up real quick, y'all. 1 second. Hold on. 1 second. That's what ChatGPT says. Win 500 per hand. 1.5 of your bet that they put out. Yeah, 1.5 of your bet, which is 2 to 1. All right, hold on. All right, hold on, y'all. 1 second. Let's fucking search this up. Fucking having a brain fart right now. There's too much shit going on. I have people texting me and calling me at the same time while all this is going on. All right, hold on. Let me look this up real quick. I'm gonna pause the chat real quick. All right, tripping. All right, hold on. Okay. Insurance bets. Okay, let me see. Go back. Let's see. It says with the insurance of far refund in the form. Okay, I think I got it. Hold on, let me pull it back to chat. My bad, y'all. Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry, y'all, for the fucking inconvenience. I'm tripping. All right, hold on. Okay. All right, 500 plus 250 per hand. Yeah. So I owe you 250 each on each hand. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. All right, my bad, y'all. Fucking bro, I literally just had 3 people call me at the same time. I had to give the keys uh over here. All right. Okay, we're good now. Good to go now. All right. What do you say? 750 per hand and my insurance back. Yeah. Yeah. So this is your insurance back. And then 750, 750. Yeah. All right. You're good. We're good to go. All right. All good. All right. Sorry for that little hookup, y'all. All right. We're good now. Okay. All right. Okay. So that was the end of that round. Dealer button is going to be moved over here. And we're going to get a final chip count over here. All right. Let's see. That's 2, that's 25, that's 35, 36, 37, 3750 for 3750 for Ranchan and 2000 for Morgan. All right, here we go. All right, I'm good to go. All right, cool. All right, next round. I believe this is round 3. I believe round 3. All right. All right. Moving on over here to Ranchan. Ranchan. All right, let's get it, Ranchan. All right, Ranchan, starting with you. 200 one hand. 200 one hand. Okay. Moving on to Morgan. Morgan. Next time I'm at the casino, I'm actually gonna get insurance on purpose just so I can double check how they do it. But yeah, just like Sola said, usually nobody gets insurance, so sometimes I forgot how it works. All right. Okay, 2 for 500. Morgan said. Okay. All right. This is round 3, I believe. Let me know if I'm right on that one, guys. But I do believe this is round 3, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. We have a 10 versus a 4. We're starting off with Ranch Hand. 10 versus a 4. Round 4. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sodas. Round 4. Okay, round 4. Round 4. My bad. Round 4. All right. Ranch Hand set to double it. All right. Ranch Hand, you want it up or down? Let me know, Ranch Hand. Down. All right. Ranch Hand wants it down. Okay. Moving on over here to Morgan. Morgan, you got 6 versus a 4. Pocket threes versus a 4. Hit on both. Okay. 6. All right, you have an 8 now. 8 versus a 4. 8 versus a 4. What are we doing on 8? 8 versus a 4. Let me know, Morgan. Hit it. Okay, and you have 18 now. 18 versus a 4. 18 versus a 4. Stand. All right. Moving on to the 7. You got a 7 versus a 4. What are we doing on 7 versus a 4? Hit it. Okay. Now you have a 12 versus a 4. 12 versus a 4. What are we doing there? 12 versus a 4. 12 versus a 4. Hit. All right, hitting the 12. 22. That's no good there. All right, let's see what we got. 13. That is 18. Okay, that's a push over here. And this is also a push. Push, push. All right. Okay. Get your bet back. Get your bet back. Button's going to be moving. And this is now round 5. Round 5, y'all. Round 5. All right, let's get a chip count. Morgan, you are at 1,500 in chips. And we got over here, Ranchan, you're at 25, 35. You're at 3750. 3750. 3750. All right. We're starting off with you, Morgan. What's going to be your bet? Let me know. Let me know, Morgan. Let me know. Let me know. What you doing, Morgan? Let me know. 15. All right. 2 hands of 500. Okay. All right. 5, 5. All right. Moving on over here to Ranch Hand. Ranch Hand, what are you doing? 1 hand of 500. Okay. 1 hand of 500. Here we go. Round 5, y'all. Round 5. All right. Starting off with Morgan. You got a 15 versus an 8. 15 versus an 8. What are we doing? 15 versus an 8. Let me know, Morgan. 15 versus an 8. 15 versus an 8. Let me know, Morgan. Morgan, you still there? Morgan, you still here? Hit it. All right. Hit the 15. 20. Okay, you got a 20 now, Morgan. 20 versus an 8. 20 versus an 8. Stand. All right, now you have a 14 versus an 8. 14 versus an 8. 14 versus an 8. Let me know, Morgan. 14 versus an 8. Morgan, you still here? Yo, Morgan. 14 versus an 8. Sheesh, can you hit with the card down? No, you cannot hit with the card down. You can only double down if you want to double down. Yeah, Morgan, you can just hit. You can hit or stay or double if you wanted to. Actually, even if you doubled, I have to put it face up because I need to know if you busted or not. If that makes any sense. Let me know, Morgan. I think stand. Think she said, ugh, I think I'll stand, LOL. All right, standing over there. All right. It's official. It is a stand. All right. Moving on to Ranchan, was it? Believe it was Ranchan. Ranchan, on to you. Stand. All right, here we go. 17. All right, loser on the 14, but winner here. So you push there, and we got a winner over here. All right, nice. That was the end of round 5. We are moving on now to round 6, the final round. Round 6. Round 6. All right, button is going to be moving. Once again, let's count these chips. All right, Morgan, you're at 1,500 in chips. Ranchan, you are at, see, Ranchan, you are at 4,250. Here you go. All right, starting off with you, Ranchan. What's going to be your bet? Last round, round 6. Ranchan, let me know. Let me know, Ranchan. 1 for 100. All right, one hand of 100. Okay, moving on over here. Moving on. Morgan, it's on you. How many hands for how much? Let me know, Morgan. 2 hands of 500. All right, good luck. Here we go. All right, here we go. Oh shit, I'm tripping. All right, starting off with Ranchan, you have a 16 versus a 3. 16 versus a 3. Stand. All right, stand. Moving on to Morgan, you got a 6 versus a 3. 6 versus a 3, Morgan. Let me know. 6 versus a 3. Let me know, Morgan. Morgan said hit. All right, hit the 6. Here we go. Okay, now you have an 8. Okay, hit the 8 again. 14. 14. 14 versus a 3. Morgan. 14 versus a 3. 14 versus 3, Morgan. Where's Morgan at? Stand. Okay. Now you have a 12 versus a 3. 12 versus a 3. 12 versus a 3. What are you doing on 12 versus 3, Morgan? Hit it. All right. 22. Too many. All right. 9, 20. All right. You both lose. That is the end of round 6. Obviously, Ranch Hand has more chips. You got 500. He's got 4 million. All right. So GG's to you, Morgan. Appreciate you for tuning in. Ranch Hand, you are moving on. Ranch Hand, moving on. Ranch Hand. All right. Ranch Hand. All right. So far, guys, we already have almost the whole board completed. We just need Frankie versus Omarco. We need Air Danny versus Silver Tacos. And we need Funny Videos versus Rainy. All right. Those people that I just announced, let me know if you guys are here. If not, we're going to have to start replacing people. Might be time to replace people. Appreciate you for having fun, Morgan. All right. Let's see. We have any of these people in here? I want to fill up this side of the bracket already. So, Frankie, are you in here, Frankie? I know I saw you early in the stream. Frankie, you in here? I swear I've seen you in here, Frankie. Are you still here? Let me know, Frankie. I know I saw you in here. It was earlier in the stream. Let me know, Frankie. I swear I saw you in here somewhere, Frankie. All right, Frankie's here. All right, we're going to start off with Frankie. Because, yeah, let's fill up this side of the bracket. All right. Marco, you never showed up. Marco, this is your last chance. You got 30 seconds to say something, brother. If not, we're going to be replacing your spot with someone else. All right. Mr. Marco, are you in the chat? You got 30 seconds. If not, we're going to erase your name. Doing a countdown right now. Marco, are you in here? Marco, are you in here? We're going to probably have to replace you with somebody in the chat, Marco. Somebody in the chat will be getting your spot. Marco, where you at? All right, 10 seconds. If you don't say anything, we're going to erase you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Marco, you have been eliminated by default since you didn't show up. All right. Who's going to be taking Marco's spot, y'all? All right. Comment down below right now. Why should I pick you guys to come take Marto's spot? Marco, sorry. All right. Comment down below right now, guys. Why should I pick you guys to come take their spot? Let me know. Comment down below. Read some of these chats. All right. Let's see. Let's go with read some of these. Let's see. Let's go with Mighty Rios. Mighty Rios, you've been selected. All right. Mighty Rios. All right. How do you spell that? What do I spell it? Mighty Rios. Sorry. Mighty Rios. All right, guys. Once again, hey, we have yet to see Silver's opponent, so that person might get booted off, and we have yet to see Funny Videos. So we potentially might have 2 more spots open after this, y'all. We'll just see if they show up after this game. If not, we'll just get going. All right, let's move on. We have Frankie. Frankie, are you ready? And Mighty Rios, are you ready? No problem. All right, Mighty and Frankie, are you guys ready? So we can get started. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Frankie and Mighty, are you guys ready? Okay, ready? Ready? All right, let's get it. Okay. Purple is going to be, let's do Frankie. Purple, you're going to be Frankie. Or Frankie, you're going to be purple. It's been a long day, y'all. Yellow, you're going to be Mighty. Yellow, you're going to be Mighty. Oh my God, I'm tripping, y'all. Mighty, you're going to be yellow. Bro, I'm off the shrooms. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's see. High card's going to be the dealer. All right, here we go. All right. So we're going to be starting off with you. Starting off with you, Frankie. You got 2,000 chips. What's going to be the bet and for how much? What is up, y'all? Appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button if you haven't already, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, all that fun stuff. We're going to be doing more tournaments for you guys in the future. So run up the like button, run up the sub button. All right. Two hands for 250. Okay. Let me give you some chips. It's 100. It's 100. All right. Two hands for 250. Now moving on to you, Mighty. What are you doing? Let me know, Mighty. Two for 500, please. Colorado, I'm sorry, man. You did show up late, man. We have to give your spot away. Maybe you can take one of these other guys' spots. We'll see. We'll see. All right, two for 500. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, starting off. Round one. Round one. All right, starting off over here with Frankie. Starting off with Frankie. 16 versus a 6. 16 versus a 6. Stand. Okay. On 18. 18 versus a 6. 18 versus a 6. Stand. All right. Moving on to my T. 6 versus a 6. Let me know, my T. Double it. Double the 6, my T. Is that what we're doing? Doubling the 6? Just want to make sure before I do anything. Doubling the 6? Yes. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Not too bad. 17. Okay. Moving on over here. 14 versus a 6. And stand. All right. Here we go. Okay. 17. Guys, we do stand on all 17s. Says somewhere here on the table. Yep. Stand on all 17s. All right, so we're standing on all 17. So this is a loser here, but that is a winner. So that's a push right there. And this is a push, and that's a loser. All right. So there you go. All right. That's the end of round one. End of round one. Button's going to be moving over here now. All right. That's going to be with Frankie. Frankie, you're still at your original 2,000. And my T, you're at 1,500. All right. We're starting off with you, my T. You got 1,500 in chips. What we doing? Round two. Round two. 500 one hand. All right. One hand. My T says. Moving on over here. Frankie. What we doing, Frankie? This is round two. Round two. Let me know, Frankie. 252 hands. Okay. 252 hands. And here we go. All right. Good luck, Ace. All right. Starting off with Mighty. You got a 20 versus a 3. Mighty 20 versus a 3. What we doing? Split them. Splitting them. All right. Live dangerously. Like it. Okay. 15 now. 15 versus a 3. 15 versus a 3. You guys are hilarious. What we doing? 15 versus a 3. Mighty, matey. Same thing, man. R, matey. Didn't know we were in English class, guys. Damn it. I failed English. Stop, I'm shy. Stand on 15. All right, standing on 15. All right, 14 now. 14 versus a 3. 14 versus a 3. Stand. All right, standing on. All right, moving on to Frankie. Frankie, you have a 5 or 15, Frankie. 5 or 15. 5 or 15. What are we doing, Frankie? Hit it. All right. 20. 20 now, Frankie. You got a 20. 20 versus a 3. 20 versus a 3, Frankie. Stand. All right. Moving on to 18. 18 versus a 3. 18 versus a 3. 18 versus a 3. Stand. All right. Here we go. 6. 15. 20. All right. Lose. Lose. Push here and lose here. All right. Well, that was the end of that one. Okay. All right. We'll get little. Okay. Button's going to be moving now. Button's moving. Let's see. Frankie, you are at 1750. Mighty, you're at 500. All right. That's that. And moving on to the next round. I believe this is round 3 or 4. What round is this, guys? The one we're about to start. I think this is round 4, I believe. Lost track. Somebody let me know. I think it is round 4. But we're going to be starting off with Frankie. Frankie, what's going to be your bet? Let me know, Frankie. Your first act. Round 3. Okay, round 3. Button does move every hand. Yes, it does. Round 3. All right, starting off with Frankie first. Frankie, what we doing? 2 for 250. All right, let me get a black chip from you. There's 100 green. Here's 100 chip. All right, 2 for 250. Okay. All right. Now moving on to make tea all in one hand. All right, all in for 500. Round 3. Here we go. Good luck. How many rounds do they get? You guys get a total of 6, but this is round 3. Here we go. All right. Good luck. Blackjack. All right. Checking for blackjack. Nobody home. Okay. All right. 250. 1. All right. That's for that one. Okay. Now moving on over here. You have a 5 or 15. 5 or 15. 5 or 15, Frankie. What are we doing? 5 or 15. Let me know, Frankie. Nobody home. Nobody home. Hit. Hit it. All right. Okay. Now we have an 8 or 18, Frankie. 8 or 18. 8 or 18, Frankie. What's the brand of the cards that I'm using? I don't know. The box is somewhere over there. I'll tell you in a bit. Can't remember. What did Frankie say? Standard? Oh, stand. Okay. And Maddie said hit. All right, hit. Okay, now you have a 13. Mighty. 13. Hit it. Too many. So sadly, that's going to end your turn. No more chips. It doesn't even matter. Winner is going to be Frankie of this round. Frankie. All right, Frankie, you're moving on. Frankie, congrats. Congrats, Frankie. All right. All right. Congratulations. This side of the bracket is already filled up for the next round. We're 2 levels away. 2 rounds away, sorry, from filling up the rest of the bracket. Guys, so for today's stream, we're playing on only to the Elite 8. The next stream will finish the bracket. So we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players advanced. We need this side of the bracket. 2 more players will be advancing to the Elite 8, and that will be wrapping up the stream. Right now we have Silver Tacos versus Air Danny and Rainy versus Funny Videos. Are you guys here by any chance? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. No worries, Frankie. GG's, brother. Let me know if these guys are here. Let me know. All right, get this out the way. All right. Are these people here? I see Rainy's here, Silver's here. Silver says just got pulled over. That's funny. The cop is going to play for me. All right. Looks like they're not here. We've given them the whole literally 2 hours to show up, and they have not showed up. So, all right, guys. Looks like we're gonna be erasing them. Uh, sorry, Air Danny, he never showed up. We're gonna find a new contestant to play against Silver Tacos, and Funny Videos also never showed up. Sorry, Funny Videos. Someone's gonna be playing against Rainy. All right. Cool. All right. We have 2 spots available, ladies and gentlemen. 2 spots available. And let's get it. Comment down below right now. Why should I pick you guys to come take these 2 spots? Comment down below. Who's going to be the first person? We're going to go with Silver Tacos. This next person is going to be playing Silver Tacos, y'all. One random person in the chat will be playing against Silver Tacos. Comment down below. Who do you think should be taking that spot? Comment down below, y'all. Let me know who's going to be taking that spot. Comment down below. All right, let me read some of these. All right. Let's go with you know what? I'm gonna do this so random, guys. I want everyone that thinks they deserve this chance to literally spam right now. Comment why you think you should be that person. I'm not gonna look and I'm gonna pick at a random comment. Whoever's comment that is gonna be the person I pick. Ready? All right, start commenting now. Comment now. And I'm gonna decide to pick whenever I feel like it. Whenever I point at it, whoever I point at, that's gonna be the one I pick. All right. And let's see, I'm gonna give it a couple of seconds. And done. All right. I picked Young and Reckless 16. Young and Reckless 16. Congratulations. All right. Young and Reckless, you are playing Silver Tacos. Young and Reckless. Ah, damn marker. Stuck. Okay, there you go. Young and Reckless. All right. Silver Tacos, Young and Reckless. You guys are up next. Up next. All right, let's get it, y'all. Come on. Silver Tacos and Young and Reckless. Let's get it. Come on. Let's get it. Come on. Silver Tacos and Young and Reckless. All right. For the purple chip, that's going to be Silver Tacos. Silver Tacos is the purple chip. Young and Reckless, you are the yellow chip. Once again, Silver Tacos, Young and Reckless. Let's see who's going to be the high card for dealer. All right. It's going to be Silver Tacos. All right. Starting off with Young and Reckless. You got 2,000 chips. We're going to play a total of 6 rounds. Whoever has the most chips at the end of the 6 rounds will advance. Unless you bust out early in the round, it's going to end the turn. All right. Let's get it. Come on. Let's get it. 2,000 in chips, Young and Reckless. You're first to go. What's going to be the bet? How many hands? What's the amount? Let me know. What a bracket, y'all. It's been a good bracket so far. Good bracket. Good bracket. All right. 2 hands of 500. Cool. 2 hands of 5. All right. Now moving on to Silver Tacos. Cop says to play 2 hands of 250. Hey, hopefully that cop is a good blackjack player, man. All right, taking 100. Here we go. 250 and 250. All right, here we go. Good luck, y'all. All right. All right, checking for blackjack. Oh, blackjack. Wow, everybody lost. Everyone lost on the first round. Wow, that was actually kind of sick. All right, well, GG's, guys, on that round. The dealer beat everybody. Dealer won that round. All right. Well, GG's in that one. All right. Dealer button's going to be moving. Round 2. Round 2. Silver Tacos is at 1,500 in chips. And we got Young and Reckless at 1,000 in chips. Round 2. Silver Tacos, you're first. All right. All right. Silver Taco said 2 hands of 250. Okay. All right, Silver. 2 hands of 250. Okay. Now moving on to Young and Reckless, 1,000 in chips. Young and Reckless. Two hands of 500. All right, they're all in. Young Reckless is all in. Good luck. Here we go. All right. On with Silver Tacos. 20 versus a 9, Silver. 20 versus a 9. Let me know. Let me know, Silver. What does the cop say to do? Ask the cop. I know you're behind the cop car with the handcuffs right now. Let me know what the cop wants to do, Silver. Technically, that's unfair, man. You're playing 2-on-1. It's you and the cop versus Reckless, man. What we doing, Silver? He's giving him the ticket right now. Stop resisting, Silver. Just go to the back of the cop car, man. He said, bro. Silver, what's the move? Stand. Okay. Stand. Moving on to the 4 versus 4 or 14, Silver. 4 or 14 versus a 9. Hit the soft 14. All right. Okay, 14 now. 14 now. What are you doing on 14? 14 versus a 9. Let's hit it. Okay, now that is a 17, Silver. 17 versus a 9. 17 versus a 9. Okay, stand. All right, moving on over here. 20 versus a 9. 20 versus a 9. Young and Reckless. What are we doing there? Young and Reckless. Stand on the 20, hit the 14. Okay. 15 over here now. 15. 15 versus a 9. 15 versus a 9. Hit it. Too many. All right. Too many there. See what we got. 19. 19. All right. So loser here, but winner there. All right. And winner over here. That's 500. All right. There you go. All right. Round 3 now. Moving the button. Moving the button. Next round. All right. You got 1,000 in chips over here, Young and Reckless. And Silver, you are at 1,600, Silver. All right. Starting off with Young and Reckless. What's the move? Young and Reckless. Let me know. This is round 3, right? Round 3. Pretty sure it's round 3. Sorry, guys. There's so many times I say rounds. Sometimes I forget. All right. 2 hands of 500. He's all in once again. Good luck. All right. Young and Reckless, all in. Here we go. Moving on to Silver. Silver, what you doing? Yes, round 3. Okay, cool. 2 hands of 200. 2 hands of 200. All right. There you go. Here we go. Good luck. Okay. Checking for Blackjack. Nobody home. All right. 9 versus a 10. Young and Reckless. 9 versus a 10. What are we doing? 9 versus a 10. Hit it. Okay. That is 16 versus a 10. 16 versus a 10. Hit it. Too many. All right. Lost 5 there. All right. On to the next one. 10 versus a 10. 10 versus a 10. Hit. All right. That's 14 now. 14 versus a 10. 14 versus a 10. Hit. Too many. All right. Well, that's over with. GG's. Young and Reckless does not have any more chips, so it doesn't even matter what happens next. So congrats to Silver Tacos. Moving on. Silver, you and the cop made it. Silver Tacos and the cop. Congratulations, Silver. Tell the cop, thank you, man. All right. On to the last round. Miss Rainey will be playing one random person. And we will do that right now in a few, y'all. All right. Let's see. Let's just get these chips ready for the next game. All right. Get that. Here, I'm gonna give each of y'all I'm gonna give y'all each one 500 chip or two 500 chips. That way it's faster because I know sometimes people like to bet 500s. All right. Cool. All right. There you go. All right, guys. Well, we only got one more person left. And if you want to be that person, listen up. First place for the whole tournament is going to win you 1,300. Second place is going to win 500. And one random person will get 200, guys. Even if you're not even on the board, you can still qualify. Everyone has a chance to qualify for that 200. All you have to do is sign up. It's totally free to sign up. Scan this QR code if you're on your TV. Press the yellow button. Make sure you guys go sign up. It's totally free to sign up. No purchase necessary. If you're on your phone, take a screenshot and press the yellow button and go sign up, y'all. Once again, it's totally free to sign up. You can also click the link in the pinned comment section and sign up through there. Yeah, random people can sign up, and one random person will have a chance to get 200. All right. I'm going to put a 3-minute timer. I'm going to pick one random person in the chat that has done that, and they will be getting this last spot. All right. Timer going now. 2 minutes. We'll put 2 minutes on the timer. 2 minutes on right now. All right. At the end of those 2 minutes, we'll be picking one random person. Either way, we have to shuffle because the deck's running low. And by the time we're done shuffling this, we should have our next contestant. All right. Appreciate you guys, though, once again, y'all. Everyone that has been tuning in since the very beginning of the Blackjack tournament and the very beginning since we've been hosting these Blackjack tournaments. We've been doing this probably for about a year now. Um, and we've always had a good turnout. It's been fun, cool hanging out with you guys. You guys have a chance to get something back, too. You don't risk anything. So it's pretty cool, man. It's like my way of giving back to you guys. Shout out SpinQuest. Without them, none of this is possible. So appreciate every single one of you guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, most importantly. And let's do this. All right, it's probably going to be last shoe of the day, last game of the day, and the second round of the bracket will be the Elite Eight, and that will be on June 15th. You heard it here first. June 15th at 4 p.m. So make sure you guys free up space for that day if you qualified. And let's get it. All right. 35 seconds. We'll pick one random person, y'all. 35 seconds. 35 seconds. 35 seconds. You can use the pinned comment too, y'all. Use the pinned comment in the chat. Or here's the QR code once again. I'm gonna leave it up there. All right. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. That is going to be the end. Comment down below right now. Why should you guys come take this empty spot? Our last spot of the 16-person bracket. We've already have 7 players that advanced to the second round. We need one person to fill up the bracket to compete versus Rainey, and we'll see who's going to be the winner from those two. All right. Comment down below. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Mm-hmm. I think we should do it again randomly, you guys. I think we should randomly point and click on someone. All right. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to randomly point at something. Whichever one I point at, that's going to be the one that moves on. All right. And that person. Oh wait, I pointed on over here. I pointed more to the screen. Where's the iPad? Okay, it's right here. All right, and this person. Wow, cannabis. Cannabis, you got selected. All right, cannabis. GG's. All right, cannabis. You're moving on to the next round. All right, Mr. Cannabis. Cannabis. All right, shout out cannabis. All right, cannabis. You're taking that spot versus Rainy. All right, let's get it going. All right, we're gonna do high card. This is purple chip. It's gonna be cannabis. Yellow chip. This is gonna be Rainy. Purple cannabis. Yellow Rainy. High card for dealer. 10 10. All right, let's do that again. Okay, there you go. All right, ace. Rainy is going to be the dealer button. So that means cannabis, you're going first. You got 2,000 chips. We're doing 6 rounds. Whoever has the most chips will be winning. Or unless you bust and lose it all. All right, cannabis, what are you doing? Cannabis, you're going first. Let me know, cannabis. How many chips? How many hands? Two hands of 250. All right, 2 hands of 250. All right. And Rainy, what are you doing, Rainy? No, you can only do up to two. 2 hands each. Rainy, what are you doing? 2 of 500. All right, 2 of 500. Here we go. Good luck, y'all. All right, here we go. All right, we're gonna start off with cannabis. You have a 20 versus a 5. Cannabis, 20 versus a 5. Eric, the cop is asking if this is underground. No, this is not, man. This is not. Damn it. Tell the cop to sign up, man. All right, 20 versus a 5. 20 versus a 5. Okay, stand and stand on 16. All right, Rainy, what are you doing, Rainy? You got a 19 and a 20 versus a 5. What are we doing? Stand, stand. All right. Stand on both, right, Rainy? Cannabis said, wait, hold up. Wait, what? Oh, hold on. Cannabis said double the 20. Oh, he said double 20? All right. Hold on. Good thing I didn't flip it. Let me give you some green. All right. Doubling the 20. All right. He said doubling the 20. Okay. You're a wizard because you still have 20. And what are you doing on the 16, Cannabis? What are you doing on the 16? Stand on the 16. All right, Rainy, what are you doing now? You got a 19 and then a 20. Stand, stand, because he took my king. All right, stand, stand. 12. Too many. All right, everybody wins. All right. 5 there for Rainy and 250, 255, that's 750. All right, I'm gonna pay you 750 total. All right, there 750. There's 750. All right. Here you go. That was the end of round one. Round one is over. All right, dealer's gonna move. All right. Starting off with Rainy now. Rainy, you got 3,000 in chips. Cannabis, You have 15 to 25, 28.50 cannabis. 28.50. All right. Rainy, what you doing? 2 of 250. Okay. Cannabis, what are you doing? Okay, 2 of 250. And cannabis, what are you doing? 2 of 500. All right, 2 of 500. All right, round 2 starting now. Here we go. Good luck. All right, Rainy, 11 versus a 4, Rainy. What are we doing? 11 versus a 4. Let me know, Rainy. 11 versus a 4. Double and stand. All right, this is 100 in green. 100 chip. All right, doubling it. Okay, and stand on the 20 over here. Okay, moving on to cannabis. You have a 15 versus a 4 cannabis. 15 versus a 4. 15 versus a 4. Stand on the 15. Okay, moving on to 12. 12 versus a 4. Hit the 12. 19. 19 versus a 4 now. 19 versus a 4. Stand on 19. All right, here we go. 14. Too many. All right, winner for everybody. Here's go cannabis and 250 Rainy. That's 750. Just gonna give you 750 here. All right, there you go. All right, so that was the end of round 2. Moving on to round 3 now. Round 3. Round 3, dealer button's gonna move. All right, round 3. We'll get a Joe chip count. All right, let's see. Rainy, you're gonna be at 25. It's 35, 36, 37.50. Rainy, you're at 37.50. Cannabis, you are at that's 35, 36, 37, 38.50. 38.50 for cannabis. All right, we're starting off with you, cannabis. What's going to be your bet? Let me know. You're up by 1. Up by 1. Up by 100. All right, cannabis, you're going. Yes, you are up 100. Round 3, y'all. Round 3. Let me know, cannabis. 500 one hand and 400 on the second. All right, 500 one hand and 400 on the second. Here, let's use the greens. Oh, you don't have them in. Oh, I guess we'll just use the 100 in green. Okay, cool. All right, 500 and 400. Rainy, what are you doing? No, today we're just playing to the top 8 silver, so you're good. After this match is over, the stream's going to be over, and then we'll play the Elite 8 on June 15th at 4 p.m. Pacific time, and we'll be moving on and finishing the bracket that day. All right. First one, 350. Second. All right. First one, 350. First one, 350. And second one, 500. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. Starting off with cannabis. 10 versus a 7 cannabis. 10 versus a 7. Artmore said, yo, area might be in Vegas soon, hopefully. Oh, hell yeah, Artmore. Yeah, let me know. If you guys are ever in Vegas, man, let me know. We live here now. Yeah, if I'm not busy, I'll come say what's up. Double the 10 face down. All right. Okay. Now 13 versus a 7. Oh, somebody was asking the cards. Let me see what the brand of the cards are. They're called Rockets Rigo Jumbo Index cards. I just dropped one right now. LOL deck. That's what they're called. All right. 13. Hit it. Okay. 17 now. 17 versus a 7. Stand on 17. All right. Moving on to Rainy. 20 versus 7, Rainy. Split them. All right. That's 350. We're splitting. Splitting them. All right. Here we go. 12, Rainy. 12 versus a 7. Need the Otani 101. Don't we all? Hit it. 21, Rainy. Nice. All right. Moving on to the next one. Okay. 15 versus a 7, Rainy. 15 versus a 7. 15 versus a 7. Hit it. 15 versus 7. We're hitting. All right, here we go. 17. 17 versus a 7, Rainy. What are we doing? Stay. Okay. Now we have a 16. 16 versus a 7. Stay. All right. Staying on that one too. All right, here we go. Good luck. 17. All right. Loser here. And that is a push. This is a 16. Loser here. 17 push here. But 21, you get paid 350. All right. Rainy. This one, 17. It's a push. You get 350. I'm going to give you 400 right there, Rainy. And take 50. Oh, sorry. No, there you go. There you go. All right. So we're good there. All right. Button's going to move over here. And we'll get a chip count right now. I believe we're on round 4 now. I believe it is round 4. We're going to get a chip count with Rainy first. All right. Let's see. Okay, Rainy, you are at 3,600. And Cannabis, you are at, let's see. Cannabis, you are at 225, 26, 27, 28, 2850. 2850 Cannabis. And Rainy, you are at 3,600. Yeah, 3,600. 500 is the max. All right, Rainy, on you. You're first, Rainy. This is a good one. This is round 4, right, guys? Sorry, I think I asked that already. I just want to make sure. Rainy said 2 for 300. Okay. I do think this is round 4, y'all. All right, Cannabis. What round is this, guys? I think it's round 4, I think, or round 5. Can't remember. Guys, Solus, or does anyone else remember what round it is? Two hands of 500, Cannabis said. The cop said five. I think it's either four or five. I can't remember. Anyone else remember before we start? Round four, right? I do believe it was four. Yeah, I think it is four. It is round four. All right, round four. All right, here we go. All right, starting off with Rainy first. This is round four. All right. All right. Rainy, starting off with you first. 11 versus a 9, Rainy. The cop lied this time, Silver. He lied, man. 11 versus a 9. Double it. All right. You want to face down or face up, Rainy? Before I show it. Face down or face up? Up. Okay. 15. I mean 16, sorry. All right. 12 versus a 9, Rainy. 12 versus a 9. Hit the 12. 13. 13 versus a 9. 13 versus a 9. Hit it. Okay, 16 versus a 9 now. 16 versus a 9. 16 versus a 9, Rainy. She said, fuck, stay. All right. Staying. All right, moving on to Cannabis. Cannabis, 10 versus a 9, Cannabis. 10 versus a 9. Double the 10 face down. All right. Okay. 13. Cannabis, 13 versus a 9. 13 versus a 9. Hit 13. 21. 21. There you go. 15. 20. 20. Lose, lose. Lose this one, but you win the 21. All right. There you go. All right. End of round 4. Round 5 now. Button's going to move to Rainy. Round 5. Round 5. All right. Let's get a chip count. Start with Cannabis. Round 5 right now. All right. That's 2,000. That's 21, 22, 23, 2350 Cannabis. 2350. 2350. All right. Rainy, you are at 25, 26, 2,700 total. 27 total, Rainy. 27 total. All right, round 5. Starting off with Cannabis. Cannabis, what you doing? Round 5. Starting off with Cannabis. Losing both those doubles hurt. Yeah, it was tough. 2 hands for 500, he said. All right. Rainy. Bet limit is 500. 2 hands max. Just coming down to the very end. It's going to be close for sure. 2 for 500. Rainy also. All right, here we go. Round 5. All right. Silver Tacos, appreciate you, brother. Has anyone won back-to-back blackjack tournaments before? I don't think so. You could be the first one. We're silver. All right. 20 versus a 9. Stand on both, Cannabis said. All right, Rainy. 19 versus a 9. 16. 17. All right, winner here, winner here. Loser here, but winner here. All right. That's the end of round 5. Moving on to round 6, y'all. Teeter button's going to be moving. All right. And round 6, last round. Rainy, you are at 25, 26, 27, Rainy. And Cannabis, you are at 31, 32, 33, 50. 33, 50. All right. Here we go. Rainy, first to go. What's the move? Let me know, Rainy. 2 for 500. All right. Cannabis, what you doing? Cannabis, keep it spicy, he said. 500 for 2. All right, here we go. Good luck, y'all. Here we go. Last round. Winner take all. All right, Rainy. This is going to be interesting. Ooh. Rainy, you have a 3 or 13 versus a 4. What a fucking game. Rainy, 3 or 13 versus a 4. Rainy, did you say hit or double? Sorry, I didn't know. Rainy, was it a hit? Double it all? Double both of them? Okay. Double both. All right. Doubling both. Rainy, do you want them face up or face down? No, double it all. Face down. All right, face down. Double them all, face down. Okay, face down, down, down. All right, Cannabis. Moving on to you, Cannabis. You have a 9 or 19. Cannabis, what are we doing? 9 or 19. Double them all. All right, double them all. Face down too, Cannabis? Face down. All right, guys, this is all coming down to the wire. Here we go. Good luck. 10, 13. Too many. All right. Doesn't even matter what you guys have. Everybody wins. And I believe, I don't know. I think Cannabis won. I think Cannabis won. All right. Let's see. All right. Rainy, you have 4,000, 45, 46, 47. 4,700 for Rainy. Cannabis, you have 4. Yeah, that's 5,000. Yeah, Cannabis has more than 51, 52, 53, 50. All right, Cannabis is going to be the winner. GG's. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to Cannabis. That was a good one. Good battle, both of you guys. That was a close one. All right, Cannabis is going to be moving on to the second round. All right, congratulations to John C., LA, Silver Tacos, Cannabis, Ranchland, LC, Frankie, and Pun 503. Those are the Elite 8 remaining, guys. And yeah, that's going to wrap up today's stream. It was a good one. We'll see you guys June 15th, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next one.